People in the room have children, grandchildren, nieces, and nephews? Very good. And how many people don't have any of those? Not too many, okay. Those of you who don't have anybody to leave your legacies on to, the next time you fill out your will, make sure you get the spelling correct, all right? Really appreciate it. I like to play a little game here. Let's see, all people that have children, how many have 3 or more? Okay, 4 or more? 5 or more? 6 or more? 7 or more? 8 or more? 2 here? 9 or more? You both have 9? How many do you have?
9.
You have 9? You have 9? 8. 9. Whoa. You get a TV and your dad can fight with That's crazy, man. I'm surprised you're not in a wheelchair. Okay. I want to get a little bit of energy going. Jen is so calming and relaxing. I need a little bit more energy in the room. So everybody, if you're okay, if you have enough energy, just everybody stand up. I want to make sure everybody's really shaking here. Okay, so get some energy going in your body. I don't want anybody falling asleep here. Moving around a bit. Come on, shake your hands a little. Good. Whoa, sir. What are you doing over there? Mr. Gray, this isn't a 50 Shades of Drake tryout. I think I have a good understanding why he's got so many kids. He's all like, okay, this is a family event, so let's just sit down. This is being filmed. The thing around the side. Well, I've been given the pleasure to speak to you guys for the next 20 minutes, half an hour or so. And the job that Darren said was make sure that nobody falls asleep. I figured out I got a few ways to do that. How you asked? First of all, I'm going to try to attempt to tell a few jokes, make you guys laugh a little bit. Not that so bad, huh? I might try to get you drawings. My art skills are just about as good as Darren's. And then I'm going to misspell a word or two. Give you guys the agenda here. Misspell a word. And if all else fails, I'm going to bring up a cute little girl in a dress and use child labor. Okay, is it alright if I tell you a little bit more about myself?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Alright, my name's Lance Lanahan. I'm 43 years old. I live in Mission, British Columbia, which is about an hour outside of Vancouver. I was born in the area, and I live I never lived more than an hour and a half from the hospital that I was born in. When I was younger, my mom would shake her head at me all the time and say, I swear he's been switched at birth, so I thought it'd be best to stay close in case they ever needed to return him. I was married once. I also did a backflip on a trampoline, landed on the bar. Neither of those two things worked out for me. Despite the combination of the two, I was able to have 3 beautiful children of my own, and I currently have 3 stepchildren. And yes, I do have a TV in my bedroom. Thank you for asking. I've made more money in different ways than Mr. Gray here has children by 10. One thing I can say after being an entrepreneur for years is that it's definitely not an easy path. How many people in the room agree with me?
Yes.
Entrepreneurship is very rewarding. It helps other people. It's a really great thing to be, but there's no easy path to take. It's not a straight line. We talked about it just yesterday about it being a definitely squiggly path, but it definitely is worthwhile if you're willing to take on all the bumps and bruises. Now, I get to tell you why I've been chosen to be up on stage. I've done something that not most people have done before. Most people can't actually do. Darren sort of thinks I'm a bit of a genius, so that's why I gave you the mic. Who knows the story about my son? Some of you don't? Okay, I'll tell you just a quick story about it. When my son was 4 years old, I started taking him to work with me. I own an electrical contracting company. I just wanted to spend time with him, really. I'd bring him to all my customers' houses. I'd introduce him as my collection goon. He would make a mean face at the marquee. I never had a problem getting paid. I was paid him when he came to work with me, and I started explaining to him about money and how to work it, how to manage it. And then eventually he came to me and he said, "Dad, I want to buy a video game." And I said, "Okay, I'm not buying you a video game." And he says, "Well, I don't need you. I got my own money." And I said, "Okay, listen up, little snapperhead. Daddy taketh, daddy giveth, daddy taketh away." No. So I said to him, "Look, if you spend all your money on a video game, then you're going to be bored of the video game in a month, and then you won't have anything to play, and you also won't have any money anymore." And he's like, "Well, what else am I supposed to do with my money?" And I said, "Well, why don't you make your money work for you?" And he says, "Well, how does that work? I don't understand." So I explained to him what a lemonade stand is, how it all works. And he loved the idea. He said, "Let's do that." And I said, "Well, unfortunately, it rains like 8 days a week in Vancouver, so we decided to get him a vending machine, and he bought a gumball machine. He had the gumball machine for a number of years, learned how to manage his money, and then kept reinvesting into his business. And eventually, by the time he was 14, he had over 100 gumball machines in the Lower Mainland. Lucas started coming to me with business events, and by the age of 15, he had been asked by Rich Dad Poor Dad's author, Robert Kiyosaki, to be on his radio show. He's been on other radio shows. He's been in 2 newspapers, featured in a magazine. He has his own website. He wrote a book. He's spoken in both elementary and high schools with people who have done book studies on him. And eventually got asked to be a speaker in Las Vegas in front of 650 CEOs from around the world. He was the opening speaker, and he sold more books than any other professional speaker at that event. He was on stage for all of 4 minutes. I did the math on the profit that he made on the books compared to the time that he was on stage. So in Las Vegas, Lucas made $30,000 an hour. Wow. Had I known this was going to happen, I would have told him to make his speech way longer. But I got to thinking about all this, and I thought, how many people here would like to, you know what? I did this I call it acts of purposely. So here, I'll spell this one out for you too, because you guys are taking notes, I know. Acts of purposely. So we can also check off the misspelling here. I purposely tried to teach my son to be smart in business and money, and I accidentally turned him into a young entrepreneur. And wow, good for you. Everybody kept coming to me and saying, "How do you do it? How do you do it?" And I thought to myself, if I'd actually written this down, I probably could have helped a lot more people out. Who here would like to see their children make $30,000 an hour? Wow. Screw the kids. Who here would like to see their mate make $30,000 an hour? Well, I did it, so I'm sure that everyone here can do it too. I mean, most of the people in the room are successful at something. We must have an easy path to tell them, right? No?
No.
No. You saw the whole jaggedy line, and that's exactly what it is. So I figured, if I had written this down, I could help so many more people. And I think, well, why would you want me to help you with your children? And when we put our kids into our education system, how many people in the room here think that after they get out, they have every skill that they need to become extremely successful? And how many people think that our school system might have a few issues? Yeah, I'll tell you a little story. My oldest daughter, who's 21, she came to me the other day and she said, "Hey Dad, I want to come and see you." And I said, "Okay." And she says, I got a new job." I said, "Great." So she came and I said, "How'd it go?" She said, "Great. I went through the interview, they offered me the job, and they told me that they're going to pay me by salary or by the hour." And I said, "Okay, that's cool." And she said, "I told them I wanted to think about it for the night." And I said, "Okay, well, what are you thinking?" She said, "I'm thinking I better figure out what being paid by salary means." And I was like, "Are you kidding me? How do you get out of school, graduate, and they don't even teach you how to get paid at the job you're going to apply for, or how to manage the money once you get it? How is it possible that our kids are going to be successful? We don't even teach them the basics." Their answer is, well, put your children in college or university. So I took my daughter to a university thing. They did a bunch of tests on her, and they said to her, here's a list of jobs that would be good fit for you. And I said, okay, well, which one do you like? And so she went through it. She says, I think I really want to become a counselor. And I said, a counselor? That's where you open up a book and see people with problems, right? You know that you're paying to see my picture in one of those books eventually, right? So how many people here have kids in university, college, or have put their kids in college or university? And who haven't quite yet? Right. And how long does it take to get into the field that you want to be in? For my daughter, they said 4 to 6 years, short years, and she'll then have her degree to be a counselor. And it's also going to cost me, care to guess?
40,000.
140.
Depends on what she drinks.
About $80,000. Okay? And $80,000 doesn't take into account the time that she needs to take off of work to go to school, or the time she needs to take off to work to study, or any support that she needs to have in there as well. So realistically, when we're all said and done, we're going to be upwards of somewhere around $150,000. I'm fairly good at math, and when I saw this, I thought two things. First of all, is this number even realistic? By the time she gets out, how much money is she going to make in the job that she never fails on one of the courses, doesn't change her mind halfway through, and of course when she gets her degree, all these companies will come to her and offer all this spectacular jobs. Because we all know as soon as you get your university education, it's exactly what happens, right? Yeah. Do you know that student loans are at an all-time high? And the chance of you being in the field that you're actually trained for, or even wanting to be in that field, are at an all-time low? I never thought about this, but I did just a while ago. How many people have been to university or college in the room? Okay, now, watch this. I'm just curious. Keep your arms up. How many people are in the same field that what they were trained for? Keep your arm up. Yeah, 2/3 of the room dropped out. That's crazy. Spend all that time and money to go to be a certain job or field, and then you don't even end up being in it. Well, being the good dad that I am, I went out, I got a second income, put my daughter at university, and I'm now selling a TV in my bedroom because I'm too bloody tired to use it anyways. Is this, can I use this one? Sorry, I've been on antibiotics.
Tell us.
I've been on antibiotics for a week and my throat's killing me. So I sat back and thought about this. Our school system teaches barely what we need to get by. For me, that wasn't good enough in my own life, and I know for most of you guys it isn't either, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And it sure is not what I want for my children. I don't want them to barely scrape by. It really broke my heart when my daughter came to me and explained what she didn't even know was being taught in school. So how many people in the room love their kids?
Most times.
Right, so it's a rhetorical question. You just gotta raise your arm. I'll call your wife, she'll call the cable guy, put a TV in the room before you can get home. Try it again. How many people love their kids? There you go. Now it's our But we all do, and we want what's best for them. If that's really the case, we have to do something better, because as we've seen before, our school systems just don't do exactly what we want them to do. So I sat back and I thought, what have I learned over the years, myself in business, what have I also learned, I taught my son, and I was wondering, could I do this again? So how many people have heard the saying, if I only knew then what I know now? Right? Has anybody not heard that before?
Yeah.
If you had been given an opportunity to be taught, say 10 things at a much younger age that would almost guarantee you success later in life, how many of you would have taken that chance? Absolutely, right? How much money would it have saved you over time? Better question, how much money would it have made you over the years?
Yeah.
Right. And so I thought, this is a way for me to make a difference. So this time I did sit down and write. As a matter of fact, I actually went one step further and I had a lady come in, a professional videographer, and started to record me with everything that I've written so far. So I've created a 10-step program that teaches people from the ages of 8 and up, someone who knows basically nothing, to understand the basics of money, the basics of business, how to dress properly, how to introduce themselves, how to start a business, sales, marketing and advertising, networking, relationships, and public speaking. So by the time they finish the program, they'll actually be able to come on stage, give a presentation, and they'll have a business which will actually give them cash in hand, money in the bank. Okay?